ṣẹ́ o kẹgbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Maiyegun diary, na you be number one.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ o, làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
So tonight, I'm going to share some, stuffs with you. We're going to talk about the latest, more or less like an update. Then, as usual, I'm going to take you a little bit down the memory lane so that for the sake of those who usually ask, how did we get here? Of course, sometimes I can deviate. Sometimes I can crack joke. Sometimes I can scream, shout. In all of these, just remember, if you pay attention, there will always be reasons for everything that I'm going to say. However, Femi Oponu Adesina, who happened to be the deputy to Garbage Shehu, both of them speaking for the lifeless Boko. 2 weeks ago, Barrister Femi Falana son came out and he said, wait, you guys told us. We'll come back to that. Don't worry, Emmanuel. You guys told us that you have arrested 400 Boko Haram sponsors in Nigeria, especially the Bureau de Change that have been managing the movement of money and all of that logistics for the terrorists. How come we don't know them? How come you are not trying them? Right? And they said, well, we are going to try them. And in fact, we're going to make their names public. That was what Malamu, the Attorney General, or pretty much like people will say, Attorney General, the Deceiver General of Nigeria. So we're expecting them to give us the names of Boko Haram sponsor, to start to get to know that, okay, yeah, we can now say these are the people. We have their names, we have their ID, we have their everything. Dubai came out and they gave us their own names. Then Femi Oponu Adesina came out today to say, for security reasons, we're not going to tell you the names of the Boko Haram sponsor. I remember that the former governor of Borno, now a senator, Shetima, once alleged that the reason why Boko Haram lasted that long under Goodluck Jonathan was because they were using Boko Haram to reduce the population of northern Nigeria, to also further destroy the economic capital of northern Nigeria. These allegations were the most lies sold to their people confidently. And that if they managed to gain power, they were going to expose those behind Boko Haram and other terrorism. We know that there is no point in looking for the sponsor or the backers of Boko Haram and other terrorist gang in Nigeria. No need to look further. We know the sponsor. However, there are other those that they are shielding, because what makes government of Nigeria culpable in all of this is this. Rather than for the insecurity to abate, to reduce, now that somebody who they claimed is a former soldier, somebody who they claimed fought civil war, and somebody who they claimed fought the Matatasin or something in Kano, that he had the magic wand to end the Boko Haram insecurity. But you know what happened? 6 years after that, we are not just dealing with Boko Haram anymore. You now have the ISWAP, you have the Miyetti Allah, you have the Fulani bandits. All these terrorists are not facing any real law or any real judgment or prosecution in Nigeria. None. The only visible thing that Nigerian government is doing to fight terrorism in Nigeria is to rehabilitate the terrorists. Their own rehabilitation is for the terrorists to say they've repented after they are captured. Now, over 8,000 of them have been released so far. Over 8,000 of them have recently surrendered. Then the Nigerian military came. Nigerian military said, those who the ISWAP, the terrorists killing people today in northern Nigeria, they were terrorists from outside Nigeria who came to invade Nigeria. That is on the one hand. On the other hand, the same fraudulent government in Nigeria is also budgeting and spending billions and billions on rehabilitation of those that are surrendering with their families. Those they said are invading from another country. Now let's bring it back a little bit. Rather than for the insecurity to stop, it got escalated to the point that Nigeria is not just on her knees anymore, practically now on her belly, all right, waiting to die under this crook. You are fighting terrorists on this hand, as they claim. You are pardoning terrorists on this hand. Then those who are real sponsors of the terrorists, you said because of for security reasons, you can't release their names. Sahara reporters gave us hints, and I'm going to read them out for the sake of this broadcast. And I'm going to take you back a memory lane again, because you see all these divisions you are witnessing in Nigeria today. All of these differences, disagreement, and the rest of that, they came to be because of the long neglected or repeated injustice that were never ever probed or prosecuted. And those who did them are now emboldened to do worse and damn the consequences. This compilation of injustice here and there, everywhere, and the grandstanding, the aloofness of these guys in charge of Nigeria, Boko Haram and gang, their aloofness is so kind of divisive enough that people don't want to discuss things that we can sit together and say, you know what? Is it about the Is it about controlling of your own resources and then doing your own thing your own way? Okay, yeah, let's sit down and talk about it. Let nobody rule over anybody and all that stuff. Things you can sit down and talk about and say, well, let's bring about a referendum and just move about. But their aloofness, their pride, their arrogance of getting away with so many kind of crimes, injustice, impunity, it has emboldened, and with no consequences, has emboldened them to do further. That's why people don't want to sit down and have this chat anymore. They just want to say, if there's any conversation that's going to take place, let it be a conversation around the referendum, if we are still going to be part of this or not. The reason why they won't give you the names of the Boko Haram sponsor is because those who are keeping the names, they are those who are the real leaders of Boko Haram and terrorism in Nigeria. But let me read out these few names before we go back to Shetima. Here, they said 400. However, apart from the names released by the UAE government, Dubai government, these are the names of those apprehended by the security agents in Nigeria. And they have been, according to them, I'm not sure, they said they have been in detention in different facilities all over Nigeria. They know them as Boko Haram sponsors. And they have done so much. I don't know how true this is. So don't believe that because, well, we have names. Some said these are fictitious names, fake names that anybody can say, well, that's your name. But guess one thing, another thing that we should also pay attention to, Nigeria media, they have all these names, right? And you would expect them to dig and dig for these names and get the identities of these people. And then they publish them out there. To the point that, including those who are hiding in this government, use that same technique, their link, their association, phone contact, calls, bank account, and stuff like that. That's the job of the media if you do have a real investigative journalist in Nigeria. But that's a story for another day. Sahara Reporters has managed to give us some names. I'm going to read them out, starting with this. 45 names. I'll read some of them. They said they are those they believe are in custody of Boko Haram and the Boko Haram government of Nigeria. And this Boko Haram sponsor have never ever been tried, and there is no plan of trying them. Now, let's read. We have Saidu Ahmed, Ibrahim Sani Bello, Mustafa Musa Adamu. You see all these names. If you go on social media, you can search for some of them. Okay, people have already started, sharing the images of some of these guys in a way, linking them one way or the other to what indeed laid credence to these names. Okay, I'll read again. Saidu Ahmed, Ibrahim Sani Bello, Mustafa Musa Adamu, Abubakar Sadiq Garba, Hussein Adamu, Muhammad Sani Adamu, Abdurrahman Ibrahim, Ghazali Yusuf, Yusuf Ali Yusuf, Abubakar Adamu Yellow, Zauradin Bashir, Aruna Garba, Garo, Ibrahim Aliu Usman, Azan Idris, Musa Emma, Aliashim Muhammad Aliashim, Baba Samaila, Bulama Tahir, Abubakar Ali, Muhammad Ambari, Danlami Azan Nadabo, Danladi Tale Inowa, Bashir Ali, Manzur Muhammad Usman, Musa Tasiu Yao, Awalu Ali Aliazan, Sadi Saidu Abdullahi, Suraj Adamu, Muhammad Hawalu, Ismaila Abdulaziz Muhammad, Munzali Ashiru Gambo, Yazid Muhammad Usman, Nabir Zakari, Gambo Hawalu, Muhammad Abba, Bashir Idris Shuaibu, Muhammad Yahaya, Hawalu Ibrahim, Abdullahi Humar Usman, Dahiru Humar Muhammad, Abdullahi Muhammad, Abubakar Yahaya, Uzaini Lawali Idrisu, Ladan Ibrahim, Nuruddin Gani Aliyu. Those are the few names they've released so far. As we get more names and we begin to get the ID, we'll begin to share them. The reason is this. They refused to proscribe Boko Haram. Do you know that? That in Nigeria, Boko Haram is not a terrorist organization. Do you know that? Also, that in Nigeria, Miyeti Allah, Fulani terrorists, they are not classified as terrorist organization. Did you know that? And this is why. As much as Boko Haram are killing in the name of their Allah, as they claim, what would you say the Fulani terrorists from the Sahel are killing for in Nigeria? They are killing to get them completely established in every part of Nigeria by gazetting those land for them that will later turn out to be local government areas in your different states across the South. That is why when the Southern governors came together, that our people are not happy. Our people are really, really angry. It is there in the South that we have the Yoruba Nation agitators. That's in the South. It's there you have the Biafran agitators. Listen, there are so many things that leads to all these agitations where people say, give us referendum. We don't want to be part of any election. Just give us a referendum and let's decide who wants to be part of Nigeria and who don't want to be part of Nigeria. Whether it is to break up Nigeria right away or to what? To break Nigeria into the normal regions that where everybody can control their own resources and control their own lives of the interference of the parasite, as we call them, right? At least we need the referendum. This kind of Nigeria cannot continue. And they were enraged. They said that they were not consulted, that the North was not consulted before the South decided to ban open grazing. The North was not consulted before the South decided to start their own Amotekun and, Eastern Security Network, as well as the Ebube Lizard that we don't even know where they are, by the way. And people said, how can the South come and consult with you in the North? What kind of insult is this? What kind of, we can see all you guys are doing. We can see how much you are pampering these terrorists. We can see how much you are everywhere, making it like the government of Nigeria is actually the government of Northern Nigeria. And we pretended that, okay, fine, enjoy it. Now, the spillover of the insecurity, we are now dealing with that in the Southern Nigeria now. And we know how incapacitated your security forces are and how colluded they are as part of the whole problem. So we're going to do something anyway. You didn't consult the South when you started ISBA, the Taliban police in Kano. You did not consult the South before you started the Taliban police in 12 states in northern Nigeria. You didn't consult the South. Why should the South consult you when they want to stop the cows from roaming on their streets? Why should they consult with you before they will provide security, safety for that local farmers living in that local communities far away from the city where the news can actually see the atrocities of these criminals? Why should we consult with you? So that's the bone of contention. And like I said, those handling the insecurity, those who are benefiting from it, are those who are currently in power. They choose who to go after. They choose who to shield. In this case, they decided to go after any of their own military that failed to obey the order to stand down, especially if they are having upper hand against the terrorists. But every day, right, soldiers get killed by the same terrorists that they said are handing over, the same terrorists that are currently repenting. How does that make any sense to you as a human being? I'm not talking about as a Buhari idiot now or as a cyberbarian, okay? I'm asking you as a human being. Think about this for a minute, right? You have no money. Your country is broke. Your country is poor. It is the poverty capital of the world. It is the worst place to live on earth. It is actually, the people living in that country, they are the second most terrorized people in the whole world. The number one most terrorized people in the entire Africa. Now, when you check the terrorism index, within 6 years, Nigeria and Afghanistan, they are now competing for number one, number two position as the most terrorized countries in the whole world. And yet, the little money you manage to gather, to steal, to buy weapon, and then all of that stuff, right? Your soldiers, poorly fed, poorly armed, poorly equipped with outdated equipment that are deliberately given to them, obsolete equipment to go and fight terrorists that are with sophisticated weapons, including RPG. They've got RPG. They've got land to surface rocket launcher. They shot down fighter jets, ladies and gentlemen. They didn't shoot down a fighter jet by shooting AK-47 at the plane. No, they shot a fighter jet down. And then these ill-equipped soldiers managed, one way or the other, to go after these bandits once in a while, whenever they did. What happened when most of them get killed and they finally get to capture some of them? What happened? They get freed, they get released, and the government who came in at the back of we are coming to end Boko Haram in 6 months. The same government is facing us to say, listen, for security reason, we are not going to name the sponsor of Boko Haram. So does that mean that the sponsor of Boko Haram are powerful enough that after you claim to have arrested them, you are now so scared? These are the people that have killed over 300 children in the last 12 years alone. Okay? And we don't know what they look like. We just get all these fictitious names that we can't really possibly, find the 10% of them. That is called government magic. When they ask Femi Okonu Adeshino, he has something to say for the record. Listen.
It's not the first time the federal government will say there needs to be an exposure or to name and shame those who are backing or funding terror in Nigeria. The United Arab Emirates recently also came out, not the first time, to name names. 6 Nigerians were indicted in those funding terror globally.
Yeah, thank you. Naming and shaming will not be the motive. Rather, bringing malefactors to justice will be it. Nigeria is not interested in naming and shaming anybody. Rather, it wants to bring them to justice. You will see that the United Arab Emirates has given some names, and the Attorney General of the Federation has responded to that matter, saying that in due course, all these people will have their dates in court. Rest assured that these people will be dragged before justice, and justice will have its way.
Femi, justice will have its day. The same Femi Okonu Adeshino that told the Buharidins and the Buhari Didirins, the Buhari Dinotus and the Buhari Dijatus, all these cyberbarians, these ombudsman slaves, obedient fools, and sophisticated morons. It was this same Femi that told them that Boko Haram went to Russia and he signed a Jaokuta deal. And he titled that article, Ajaokuta Roar Back to Life. That was about 3-4 years ago. Today, the Buhari idiots themselves, they are now biting fingers like, oh boy, now this whole thing are just fraud. It is the same Femi Okonu Adeshino that is assuring you, as if to say his word actually can't for anything. Some said he's just doing his job. Of course, you can also say that to the dead 300 children. Children, I'm not even talking about the adults now. This is the one they called official record. If they are looking for those who are sponsoring them and they don't know, I have one here for you. Do you remember him?
And yes, we offered them money. We said, look, if we have to pay you not to kill our people, we're happy to do it. Compensation for lives and property has foundations even in the Quran and the Bible. Frankly, as the governor of the state, this is where my opinion comes in. As I speak, we are aware of some church leaders that have been getting money from abroad to bury Christians that have been killed, to rebuild thousands of churches that have been destroyed, because the more they put this on social media and give the impression that Christians are being targeted, the more dollars flow in.
Is there your proof of this?
I will not say proof. The security agencies have been monitoring, and when we put it all together, you'll be surprised.
How many of you remember Philip? Let's take it word for word now. He started with, yes, of course, we offered them money. He was talking about the Fulani terrorists they offered money to. And that was the beginning of the genocide going on in southern Kaduna. And in order to make it look like he knows what he's talking about, he confirmed that he gave them money. He quickly attacked the Christians that are being killed. He agreed. He confirmed it that they are being killed. That the more Christians are killed, the more churches are burned. Thousands of churches are burned. And these Christians are posting it on social media. People send them money from abroad. He did not deny the genocide. So if you're looking for a sponsor of Boko Haram that is in government, I just gave you one. Another one is a pandemic. The one in charge of your communication in Nigeria right now. Man, honestly speaking, if there is anything at all that should get you worried, is the fact that everything about you is in the hands of those who could easily give them out to terrorists and terminate you anytime. They will be in charge of your airline, in charge of your communication, your text messages. They just recently said they were buying a machine to hack into your WhatsApp so that they can know who you are talking to, who you are texting, and every other thing you are exchanging on WhatsApp. They want to spend almost 50 billion naira to buy that. It's a pandemic. The same guy that gave money to people in America to go and shout one Nigeria, one Nigeria. They are there, the sponsor of Boko Haram, the sponsor of terrorism in Nigeria. If you want them and their antecedents and everything that could link them up, you see all these names you have here. People should begin to check them. Those who can trace them, get us their identity. Let those who can do forensic investigation and the rest of that find a link. You will realize that, you know, all these names, if they ever exist, you realize that more than 80% of them, they have link to your senators, to your governors, to all of them from that northern Nigeria. And here it is. Yesterday, I said something. I said, the fraud, the lie about one northern Nigeria is, we are beginning to demystify that now, right? So you realize where they really occupy. If Nigeria, if there's a referendum today, yeah, there's a referendum where the South can genuinely, right, decide on their own destiny without having to always face these terrorists who abandon the welfare of their people, the safety of their people, for the aggrandizement that comes with central power, the one that is not even beneficial to them, right? The South can manage our own affair. To some extent, I believe, even if we have to finally break up and all that, but we can actually do without these guys once we begin to let everybody know that they are the parasite, and until their people turn against them, until their people see through their lies, until they can no longer use Nigeria as the excuse, as the reason, until they can no longer see anybody to gaslight, any tribe to gaslight or to kill, no, in order to prove to their people that that's the reason why they are not, they are unable to make them safe. It's because the Biafrans are asking for Biafra. It's because some people want to break Nigeria. It's because the South want to take their own VAT. It's because this, it's because that. They will no longer have to have them as excuses anymore. We will no longer be there, including our own southern criminals. They too will no longer have the northern excuses anymore. They will no longer have the federal government excuses to give anymore. This will be a total reset. And guess what? if the southern Nigeria and the people of the middle belt, the north central, which are not supposed to be called north central in the first place, the people of the central Nigeria, the middle belt, if they should by any chance take this advice, layers with their own southern brothers and their sisters, yeah, this is what you're going to have. This is what you're going to have. And you see that homogeneous north, great north, 1 million, 100 million voters, blah, 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 blah voters. Once you take the middle belt out, then you leave them with the Sharia north, where they can easily welcome their cousins, their nephews, their nieces and all of them from Chad, from Niger, from Libya, from all these places, where they can invite them over. Then they can give them land as much as they want. These are people who have bigger lands. Imagine the people they claim have invaded Nigeria, like Nigerian army said, yeah? They are the terrorists from Niger Republic, from Mali, from Sudan, from Libya, from Cameroon, from Chad. These are the places they said they come from, Somalia, all these places, yeah? And if you look at some of these places, they are bigger than the entire Nigeria. I'm talking about the entire map of Nigeria that you see, Chad is bigger than Nigeria by landmass. Bigger. Sudan is far, 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 far bigger than Nigeria. I know Libya is not as big as Nigeria. But you know what? Niger Republic, with their small population, they are bigger than all of the entire Nigeria, including the north, south, everywhere. But you see these criminals in power in Nigeria, they want Ruga land for people coming. Are you with me? For people coming from all those places, because they need land for them to be able to have peace in Nigeria. Are you following that? So that's what you're going to get. There is no homogeneous north. There is nothing like one north. And when the situation gets to that level, that is where everybody will bear in Papa name. That's when you realize that, oh boy, when we were growing up, we were told 3 major ethnic groups in Nigeria are Hausas, Yorubas, and Igbos. But Nigeria has, you know what I'm talking about, Sha? It's in a tribe. But all of a sudden, since you started this 1999, immediately after Obasanjo, the thing just started changing to Hausa Fulani, Hausa Fulani, Fulani, Hausa Fulani, Hausa. The media started changing Hausa Fulani, and they started saying the 3 major ethnic groups in Nigeria are Hausa Fulani, Yoruba, the Igbos. Are you following? And today, people are saying, Hausa Fulani. They are. So when the thing get to that level, the Kanuris, the Hausas, everybody that... I have a map. Let me show you one map. If you want to see everybody from everywhere in Nigeria, yeah? This is it. You can see where everybody is. You can see where you come from. So you can know your own size. Everybody know where they come from. Waiting link us. You see that yellow part? Now the Hausa land be that. You see that green part? Now the Kanuri people be that. But I'll leave that to them. I don't want to be the one to explain everybody's identity. You shall know where you belong. By the time the systemic breakup, God bless you, Jare, Wazobia. I like that. You remember when we're like Wazobia, Wa for Yoruba, Zo for Hausa, Bia for Igbo. And Wa is come in Yoruba, Zo is come in Hausa, Bia is come in Igbo. They say Wazobia, abeg, waiting be the come of Fufu Day. And when did that come into our conversation? No be Wazobia that they call us. Wazobia. Now, I don't even know. My Fulani friends who are here, because I do have some of them watching me, waiting become in Fufude. So that we can place it in there now that we have Hausa, Fulani, Yoruba, Igbo. So by the time everybody find a level like this, that is what they will have up north, where they can have Sharia. You get what I mean now? And let us see what Sharia, what kind of Dubai they will build in northern Sharia then. Because you see, what is going on right now is systemic breakup of Nigeria. And that thing got escalated when Boko Haram and APC, Egbekegbe. Somebody said, Wafusobia, Abi Wasofobia, Fun Wazobia. What about that? Fun Wazobia, makes sense. No insult to you if you're my Fulani friend, though. I'm not insulting you. I'm just, out of curiosity. All this whole thing, we were respecting ourselves. So if you say the Yoruba, you know that Yorubas are not one Yoruba like that too. Trust me, I'm a Yoruba man, Ijebu man. And if they say, what is your relationship with, are you a descendant of Odudua? The core Ijebus, the real Ijebus will tell you that, Do you understand what I'm saying now? But nevertheless, we speak same language, similar language enough, and we share similar culture, religion, and so many other things that we actually settled for centuries. Settled in where we are right now, called our own ancestral land. But you won't say in Yoruba land, they speak one language. No, come on. Even within Yoruba land, we have more than well, if I'm just being a little bit kind of conservative with it, we have more than 20 languages in Yoruba land alone. We have more than 20 tribes in Yoruba land alone. If you go to Igbo land, you will see that, yes, that Igbo language sounds like one. But guess what? When somebody is speaking Igbo from Anioma, or speaking Igbo from Olu, speaking Igbo from Owerri, and somebody is speaking Igbo from Abia, or speaking Igbo from Enugu, they will tell the difference themselves. Just same way like me, a Yoruba man, will tell you that, yes, I'm a Yoruba man. He's a Yoruba man. She's a Yoruba man. She's from Oshun. She's from Ondo. I'm from Ijebu. She's from Egba, and the rest of that. But by the time we begin to speak, so that was respected. That's the point I wanted to make. We respected ourselves. In the name of trying to make us look like one, they came up with all these narratives that are not genuine. If they were genuine, right, we won't find ourselves here today. Pardoning terrorists. They can do that in the north without having to put the entire country into the trauma of knowing that when Fulani terrorists and other terrorists attack you, you stand a little chance of surviving it. And if you manage to survive it, you are likely going to still be prosecuted for fighting to stay alive. So how do you then continue to forgive foreign terrorists, rehabilitating them with your own money that you don't even have in Nigeria? What other kind of collaboration do you think we should be looking into? Who are those we should be looking into their own affairs and the decision-making process? Today, the news that came from Zamfara, despite the fact that they said they have shut down network there for weeks now, shut down network in Katsina, shut down network partially in Kaduna, in Zamfara State alone today. One of their own local emir called into a BBC program, Hausa, and then said, all this news you are reading about are all lies. That more than 8 villages that he knows of have been attacked. that many people have been killed that they can't even account for. But they can confirm that over 400 of them have been kidnapped as well. Kidnapped, taken into the forest. It was in the same Zamfara where they said they are killing the bandits. 24 hours or 48 hours after they broke the news that they were killing the bandits, after they shut down the internet, shut down the phone network and every other thing. The bandit took over military barracks. And there is another collusion, right? Boko Haram in 2018, they went into excess crude accounts. Excess crude account was created by Obasanjo during the time that he felt like they were going to have an oil windfall. So that, in Nigeria, every year they write their budgets. They write their budget on the benchmark of oil price. So if oil price, for example, is $50 per barrel, they will write their budget for next year. They will begin to write the budget for somewhere around $40 per barrel. Then they will budget, they will then count how many liters of, how many crude oil are we going to declare that we sold. Then they will use all this tally and all this fraudulent stuff, right? So last, sorry, thank you. So I nearly missed that, by the way. One sec. Just one sec. No. Okay, found it. Right. So they put it on their benchmark. They use the benchmark. They call it benchmark, which means even if the oil price fall below the $50, right, they will still be able to do their budgeting based on the $40 benchmark. Now, in a case whereby the oil price just suddenly jump up, like they know that, they expect oil not to be sold for anything less than $40. And suddenly they are selling the barrel of oil for somewhere around $80, $75, $90, or $100. So you see that excess of $60 on each barrel is what Obasanjo just suggested. And he opened an account and he called it excess crude account. Since the arrangement in Nigeria is that every money made, every penny made from everywhere, they should put everything in that cookie jar, in that big jar, and share the money. So Obasanjo didn't share the money. And he saved a lot. Honestly, the guy actually saved more than $22 billion. He actually left. When he left power, Obasanjo left about $22 billion in that account. When Yaradua came, within just 30 months or so, 1.5 years or 2 years, 2.5 or 3 years that he spent, they depleted that account from 22 billion down to somewhere around there, 15, 14 billion. Jonathan took over. Between 2010 and 2015, Jonathan, when he was leaving, Jonathan handed over to Boko Haram a balance of $7.5 billion from almost 15 billion that Yaradua left. None of them added anything. Boko Haram took over in 2015 with APC, Egbekegbe. And within that time, they are still selling oil. They are supposed to still be saving, but they are looting anything that they could loot. Both PDP, you know what I'm talking about. So last, Boko Haram came. In 2018, Boko Haram now said they wanted to fight Boko Haram, to defeat Boko Haram. Finally, he withdrew 1 billion from that. Well, hang on. So within the first 3 years of Boko Haram, or let's state it this way, within the first 6 months of Boko Haram, they added $350 million as money saved from excess crude oil. So it was Boko Haram for the first time in about 10 or 15 years since Obasanjo left power. It was Boko Haram that actually added money to that excess crude account. And how much? $350 million. But like the fraudsters, they give you small. They say, take this one. You say, thank you. So they celebrated it. It was everywhere in the newspaper. This is Bokwari we voted for. This is the man. This is, for the first time in 10 years, Nigeria is saving money. The excess could, not GBT, it was GBT, was actually fraud, right? You know what happened? Between 2016 and 2018, the money in excess crude accounts depleted completely down to something around the 1 billion. 1 billion, I think they said it was at 1.3 billion. 1.3 billion. What's happened? They don't spend them. Just like Abacha loot, over 6 billion Abacha loot that they received, they've spent it as well. What happened to the excess crude account? They don't finish them. So in 2018, that was the moment that Jibril al-Sudani, you know what I'm talking about, that is not Bokwari is wearing mask, he's not wearing mask or not. And they needed an international image for him, just something to make it look like he's Bokwari to prove it. They decided to go and parley with Donald Trump. And that was where they decided that they wanted to buy the Tuscano jets. The Tuscano jets that they are now sending to Nigeria now. So they withdrew $1 billion from the excess crude accounts. And they put Bokwari inside the plane, the Maiyegun, and built them up to America. They handed over about $400 million to an American, fighter jet maker somewhere in Virginia, we're told. And after that meeting, Donald Trump said, don't ever bring that lifeless person to me again, ever. And that was what gave birth to lifeless Bokwari, lifeless. Do you get what I mean now? It was Donald Trump that some people said they were in a meeting. And they didn't know. That was the time that they said they didn't know that the microphone was on. And Donald Trump was like, don't ever bring that lifeless person to this place again. Don't ever bring him anywhere close to me. Anyway, now 1 billion then withdrew from Nigeria. Now 400 million they spent in America, right? What happened to the remaining 600 million? Everything that happened to the rest of the money that you can ask for. So that was the journey of 1 billion. Today, that excess crude account now only 75. I don't know if now zero self. The last time we checked, they said now $75 million remain there. From 7.5 billion. Obasanjo left it at 22 billion in 2007. 2007 can't sound like 1807. Like it was like ancient years ago. So if you want to know how depleted Nigeria has become, how depreciated Nigeria has become, this is how degenerated it has become. And every of this story that you are hearing right now, there are individual people that are victims of all the consequences of all these decisions, right? Terrorists are not being prosecuted. When they receive weapons in Nigeria, suddenly, terrorists will attack the military base. They will cut away all the weapons, the ammunitions, and the rest of that. Now we have the hint that they also move money here and there. Now that they have actually industrialized kidnapping and the ransom payment in Nigeria today, where what else is left? It's just have to be like esprit de corps. Police, they kidnap. EFCC, they kidnap. Military, they kidnap. Kidnapper, they kidnap. Bandit, they kidnap. Mietiala, they kidnap. DSS, they kidnap. Malamu is also a kidnapper. Everywhere you turn to, you have to see the victims of the consequences of all these actions, okay? And it didn't start today. It started a while ago. Let me take you back memory lane. I want to drink a little bit as well, just before we continue. Do you remember this celebration of Bokwari coming to power? Why those who initially thought they were coming to crush everybody? By the way, congratulations to all the freedom fighters, all of you who have decided to sacrifice everything by standing on the on truth, by standing with the truth, so to say, no matter whatever the cost is. I want to say thank you to all of you. The legal team of IPOB, they did wonderful thing. The Nigerian government is running away from them. They are running away from courts. Listen, a court just released one of our Ada Biafra. Her name is Ngozi. I can't remember the full name. She got kidnapped by the Nigerian DSS simply because they accused her of being a member of IPOB. She's been locked up for for months now. Finally, they found her and the court set her free today. Not just that, by also awarding damages against the kidnapping police of Nigeria. Nigerian police will have to pay her 50 million naira. Don't worry, they don't have to pay. They don't have to pay it in cash. They will pay. They will pay for everything that they are doing. So that's why I have to give kudos to the legal team of IPOB. Yes, 3rd of October is when they expect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to appear in court. There's already a rumor. There's already a rumor that is not going to be presented in court. They're not going to bring him to court. And this is already has started raising a lot of dust in the eastern Nigeria as we speak now. You can't keep him without being bold enough to present your evidence of why you are holding him. You can't just do that and expect everywhere to be so calm and peaceful. Things are not done that way. Nowhere is peaceful from the day you kidnapped him. And until you are bold enough, if you're bold enough that you kidnapped him, you have the power to do that. Bring him to court. Let him speak openly to his supporters. I mean, you have him, right? If you are not scared, listen, if Nnamdi Kanu is brought to court tomorrow, the entire Abuja will feel that something is happening. I'm talking about the entire Abuja. You know why? Because it's not because the people are scared. It's because those who think they are powerful people who are living inside prisons that they call mansion, they are being guided by gun-wielding men and women who are ready to shoot and kill. Why would anybody want to come and kill you in your prison that you call mansion? But guess what? As powerful as they think they are as scared as rabbits. Maybe no insult, or let me just say apology to the rabbits, because I don't know what to compare them with. They are as scared as anything, but they love to appear so powerful, so mean, so fearless, and all of that. But when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the person they want to bring to court, they are scared as that police station located in the local farm of Zamfara, where people begin to go, police station that shot at 2 p.m. because of security reason. They are scared as that, despite the fact that they think they control the world. Bring him to court. And people are now saying that if you don't bring him to court, that means the political class in eastern Nigeria still don't know what is about to eat them. The sit at home is really, really adverse. People are feeling the brunt. But yes, the people that are feeling the brunt of the sit at home are those who believe that the sit at home is going to affect their own electoral fortune, especially in the states that are having their shamble election again. So they believe that as long as Biafrans continue to sit at home, as long as they continue to decide not to participate in their fraudulent election, as long as they can see that Biafrans are not going to ignore the lockup of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, like all these political jobbers, these jobless scroungers, these jobless guys in PDP, APC, trying to tell you the effect of your sit at home, right? So they are doing all of that as we speak, but they don't know what is about to eat them, right? They are talking about the money people will lose for not going to their shop. I'm talking about people who have decided to stay at home voluntarily. If all of you can continue to mingle and then party with those who kidnap Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and those who continue to hunt down innocent people, kill them without any account or any consequences. If you think that's something that you can just wish aside and look away, then I think the only language you probably understand is when they choose to embark on the civil disobedience by sitting at home. Those who are most worried about people sitting at home are the politicians. Are you with me? They are those paid trolls. Those articulated morons, articulated mugus, articulated fraudsters. All these jobless boys who have been hanging in the trenches for so long, waiting for an opportunity to begin to taste part of the system and begin to preach one Nigeria to all of you once again. That they are going to lose out is what scares them most. It's not because APC will control anywhere. It's not because Fulani terrorists are going to kill people. It's because they can no longer wait to be begging while they watch the Buhari deal who managed to get closer to power, feeding from the crumbs, falling from the tables of their oppressors. They can't wait. That's why they are now pretty much at those who are after the IPOB members. You are ignoring their pains. You are ignoring the assault on them. You are ignoring the profiling on them. You are ignoring the their killings. You are ignoring the incarceration, the illegal detention of many of them. You are saying that they called for it. You are accusing them that Nnamdi Kanu told them to go and commit that, so they should deal with it. Now you want to tell them that sitting at home is going to work against them. What have you done to help them? What have you done to speak for them? What have you done to defend them? Same thing that happened with the case of Oloye Sunday Igboho, the Abuja oligarch, the Abuja criminals, the Abuja wearies, led by Malamu. They are already saying they are planning to what? They are planning to appeal the judgment of 20 billion. That's how much this, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is asking for 50 billion for extraordinary rendition and so many other things that the case they filed against them right there. The government of Nigeria didn't show up. They ran away. So 3rd of October is the deadline. 3rd of October was when his case was adjourned to appear in court. So if Nigeria doesn't have their evidence now, then if they think they are just going to hold him and everything is just going to be just whatever it is, they have no idea what is coming. And this is part of the injustice, the part of the impunity. If you believe in your own laws, why can't you bring him, or why won't you bring him to court? Your law is your law, your judges, your everything. Why? Because they will lose out. There's nothing to prosecute anybody for. Terrorists can't really find anything other than to cook up something that are never going to be easily, you can't easily stick, something that can't easily stick. What these terrorists are always doing when they accuse people of this and that is that they continue to look for something that can stick. They say, oh, you spoke to somebody, who is that person? Anonymous. That anonymous, we believe that anonymous is a terrorist. You must give us information. So we are charging you for terrorism. They kidnapped 12 people from Oloye Sunday Igboho's house. They kept them after different court judgment that said they should be freed. They started playing the hide and seek game in order to keep them for longer. Now they are holding 2 of them. One of them, a lady, that captured the attack on the home of Oloye Sunday Igboho on a live broadcast. They are keeping her there, Lady K, and they are charging her for terrorism. As you are watching this video, they are looking for something to attach and say, this is the terrorism he committed. Same thing with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Same thing with Omoyele Sowore. Same thing with all the people they have locked up. Do you know that in Ibadan today, or your state, Governor Seyi Makinde, people have been calling on you, and it seems that you pretended not to care. I hope you heard this. 6 people from last year, October, NSAS protest, they are still been locked up in Agodi prison to this day. Would you believe that? For protesting during the NSAS protest, in Oyo State, the Oyo State police, among those people they arrested around that time, that many organizations came together to free them. There are other 6 people right now. They are still there in Agodi prison since last year for protesting against police brutality. In Kirikiri, somebody just told us today that over 200 people were arrested during the NSAS protest last year. Over 200 of them are still left in Kirikiri prison as you are watching this video. Do you know what they are charging them for? Terrorism, armed robbery, different things. And because Nigeria is a den of criminals, as in, well, being led by criminals, you won't be surprised that it is a den of criminals, by the way. It is, Nigeria is a crime scene. Lives of young people are being wasted, wasted away by these heartless criminals who don't know that a day is going to come whereby, of course, the consequences of all of this, the injustice, the impunity, the abuse of power, this whole thing are going to come back to haunt the entire country. Why should you want to keep to be part of that? Why should anybody want to be part of that? What kind of legal system is that? So if you don't have your case against him, you better bring him to court on the 3rd of October. I don't know what's going to happen, but trust me, they have told us that they are going to do the sit-at-home for a whole month. Listen, when they give time or ultimatum, you may think, oh, they will just destroy themselves. They're just hurting themselves. They're just doing this and that. Okay. You see those political class, they are also going to have something waiting for them. This time around, you will see if the people will turn against IPOB as you are hoping, or people will begin to hunt all of you down in that southeast, that many of you will no longer go back home. You will rather stay